Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Speak Cinema. My name is Iwan, one of your lovely co hosts, and I am here to be talking to you. So thrilled to be talking to you about five underrated criterions. Now, I don't want to blabber, I'm just going to jump into this, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. So, for our first film, I picked Woman of the Year by George Stevens, a film made in 1942 starring some of the greatest actors of America at that time and even to today, Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. What a wonderful light comedy, also romantic film that sort of deals about World War II. What was the you could also examine what was the perception of the war early in the early stages, how people perceived the war. As a matter of fact, this was made in 42. Not a lot of people knew that the war would actually turn out to be on a good side, and this film actually says that the war will be won by the Allies. We will win the war. It's repeated multiple times. So you can see it from a propaganda perspective. You can also see it from a social commentary perspective, where we have both of our characters sort of enthralled in their careers, and now it comes the time where they want to get married, or they do get married, and now they have to build a home, and neither one of them knows how to do it. And you're just watching them sort of clatter around and sort of fall apart from each other, and then sort of falling back in love with one another. It's a heartfelt film that I think everybody who enjoys that period, that sort of melodrama mixed with comedy, would actually enjoy this film very much. So, once again, Woman of the Year, highly recommend. For my second pick, I chose Bigger Than Life, a film by Nicholas Ray. And for those who do know, Nicholas Ray directed films such as They Live by Night, In a Lonely Place, Rebel Without a Cause, and many other films. But unfortunately, this film does not make it on that list. It's not such a popular film. I find that nobody picks this up during the sale. Nobody talks about it. Seldomly, you do have somebody talking about it, but that's very seldom. Well, this film deals with so many things. It deals with drug addiction. It deals with the drug industry in America during the 50s, mind you. This is the Eisenhower era. This is a post-war era. This film is supposed to embody the perfect family, the perfect nuclear family, and the perfect suburban society that everybody has been waiting for since the Depression. Well, it is perfect until, well, you have a foreigner, and in this case being the drug, a new foreign drug coming in, or let's say not even foreign but novel, coming in and sort of ravaging this calm person, very loving person, very a family person, a family man. It ravages its life, and of course the life of those around him. And well, it's a film that I think it's so great because it speaks on so many levels, and it doesn't just talk about one thing, or it doesn't make a commentary on one thing, but it's actually making a commentary on a lot of things that pertain to our daily lives. I mean, any one of us can get hooked on an addictive drug. And we do know people who they fight for the rest of their lives to sort of get rid of that addiction. Well, in this case, we see how that addiction is. And it's so interesting because this is a film made in the 50s. Not a lot of films were dealing or were addressing this problem. But Nicholas Ray, being the person who he is, being the director who's so eccentric and always pushing the line of what filmmaking can be, he addresses that question. And I think the resolution is wonderful. Maybe I could say that I teared up at the end, but once you see this film, or if you've seen this, if you judge me, that's fine. It's just me. I'm a sucker for these type of films. But there are some scenes where I was just gasping for air, and I couldn't believe what James Mason, who plays the main character in this, was saying to his wife about their kid, who is, as you see, it's on the cover. But that's enough. Go and watch Bigger Than Life. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. And probably this is one of the best picks that I've ever gotten off the Criterion collection. So once again, Bigger Than Life. Go check it out. For my third pick, I chose, I cannot believe that people do not pick this movie up. I don't know what's happening. I see it by the dozens wherever I go. Nobody picks this film off the shelf. Well, I was brave enough and I did pick it up in July. And this is none other but Christ Stopped at Eboli, a film by Francesco Rossi, by the same director who directed Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. Now, if you haven't seen that film, but I assume everybody that watches this or has been aware of the Criterion Collection probably has watched that film and they think that's a wonderful commentary film about the police, corruption, everything. And it's acted by a brilliant actor, Gian Maria Volonté. And that is two of the reasons why I picked this film up, is because of the director and because of the actor as well. But I'm lying. I've also picked it up because of the story. It's a story set somewhere in the southern of Italy during fascist Italy in the late 1930s. And this is about how Gian Maria Volonté's character, our primary character, is being deported because he was a communist. Or so we think, or so we are led to believe that he was a communist. Rather, he was more against the regime itself. And he's being sent to the southern Italy to experience sort of 3 years of isolation without being able to sort of get out of the town's limits. And while he's there, he sort of sees the simplicity of the people. He sees the customs. He experiences the customs. He bonds with the people. It's such a heartfelt sort of a film that is being told in 4 parts, in 4 episodes. So you can watch this as sort of a TV episode. And I believe this film was made for TV, but for those who do know what TV film looks like, this does not even remotely look like a TV film. This looks like a piece of art, like a painting. Some of the still shots in this film are absolutely incredible. And I'm encouraging you to watch this with somebody and then afterwards discuss about the film. Discuss after each episode what you've seen. Because some of the episodes, if not all of them, they do have some philosophical connotation to them. They do have some philosophical meaning to them. But nevertheless, I want you to be brave. I know this sounds corny. Be brave. Pick this up. I'm begging you. It is phenomenally good. Please. Francesco Rossi's Christ Stopped at Eboli. For my number 4 pick, I chose The Last Metro by none other but Francois Truffaut. This is another film, just like the previous one, that nobody actually picks up. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It stars one of the most beautiful actresses that the silver screen has ever known, and that is none other but Catherine Deneuve. And Catherine Deneuve plays in Belle de Jour, and plays in The Young Girls of Rochefort, and plays in Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and many, many other films. But this film is such a wonderful Truffaut film. I must admit, not everything that Truffaut has made is incredible. Some of his stuff sometimes just seems too mediocre. But this film, though, I think this is his magnum opus. At the end of the 1970s, at the end of the French New Wave, I think you get a perfect film of Truffaut like this. Set in the 1940s in France, this can also be thought of more of a biographical film, because Truffaut remembers the war, so he sort of remembers the atmosphere that this movie takes place in. And this is also a film about romance, a film about dedication to one's craft. What does it mean to stand for the right thing? It's an incredible, incredible film that I can just go right now and watch it. And I might just do so because it's a film that you sense the love that the actors put in, and you sense the love of the characters that they sort of transmit with or among one another. So I'm again urging you, check this movie out. Check The Last Metro. Be a little bit ballsy and just go out, begging you, and get it. you will not forget it. And I did not mean for that to rhyme. And well, let me move on because I have no more time. For my last pick, for number 5, I chose Babette's Feast, a Danish film by Gabriel Axel. What a wonderful, innocent film about simple living, dedication to people, just dedicating one's life to serving others, right? This is set somewhere, I would guess, probably in the 18th century, the 1700s in Denmark. And you're following the lives of two sisters who are the daughters of a pastor in a very small, remote village in Denmark. And within that village, you have in one night this woman called Babette, who was sent by an opera singer who once came for sort of a vacation to this village and fell in love with one of the sisters and promised them that he will never forget them. And well, he hasn't. He sent Babette, his best chef, to go and work for them, to serve them. And so Babette does for a lot of years. And at one point, I'm not going to spoil the ending, something happens that makes her to leave the town. But it's such also a funny film about what does it mean to live in an enclosed society, about perception of people who come outside of your own probably cultural background, probably your own religion. What does it mean to be different than others? So while this movie, it's about the art of food making, it is also a film about what does it mean to be human in a world where you are so much judged. As we know, Europe at that time, I mean, if you're going into a Protestant country and you are Catholic, you're judged. If you're coming from France, obviously with different customs and so on and so forth, you would be judged. So what does it mean to live in that type of society? Once again, Babette's Feast, innocent film, absolutely worth checking it out. Also, it's a very sort of short film, 104 minutes. Wonderful, wonderful film that you can just put on a peaceful night and just then go to bed just peacefully and knowing that the world will be okay. Once again, Babette's Feast. Check it out. Well, that wraps everything up. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I've certainly have enjoyed picking those films and also talking about them. I just want to say that we're very grateful here at We Speak Cinema. Me and Peter are just grateful for you guys that you are patient and waiting for our sort of delay and sort of long hiatus from the channel. We're sorry, but when we're in the middle of the semester, we like to focus more on school. But now that it's November, the sort of the semester, and after midterms, the semester sort of wears down, and we have just a little bit time to sneak this sort of video to you guys, of course, for your entertainment. So expect more videos in the upcoming weeks, probably even days from us regarding the Criterion collection. And all I can say to you is I wish you well. I wish you to be healthy, wealthy, but nevertheless, I wish you the best. Take care.
Barmhärtighet och sannhet mötas. Rättvisa och fröjd ska kyssa varandra. Människan tror i sin svaghet och sin kortsynthet att hon måste göra sitt val här i livet. Och fruktar den risk hon därvid löper. Vi känner fruktan. Men nej, vårt val är utan betydelse. Den tid kommer då våra ögon öppnas och vi omsider inser att nåden är utan ände. Vi ska blott vänta i tillit och mottaga i tacksamhet. Nåden ställer inga villkor. Och se, allt som vi har valt blev oss givet. Allt vad vi har avstått från blir oss beviljat. Ja, vi får också det tillbaka som vi har kastat bort. Barmhärtighet och sannhet mötas. Rättvisa och fröjd